Well, welcome back. This is Gunner James, now Gunner James 105, since apparently there's quite a few Gunner James on YouTube. So 105 I added as in 105 howitzer. And so I'll just carry on with the video. Today's topic are these number 36 M Mark 1 grenades. These are both World War II vintage, and they are actual grenades. They're not replicas, and so they're inert. They've had the powder removed, and of course the fuse and detonator or blasting cap. And so, yeah, the Mills bomb. These ones were designated with the M, number 36M. That happened about 1917 when they covered these things in shellac for the more jungle or humid climates. And so the design as well dates way back till before the First World War when they came out. But they've actually had about a 55-year life. They were used up until 1972. I believe there was one of the modifications they made around 1940 was the time on the fuse. It was a 7-second fuse, and they reduced that to 4 seconds because apparently the things were either not effective in that the enemy could have a little extra time to take cover, or the grenades were thrown back at the thrower. So that little thing was changed. Another thing is the kind of a pineapple shape to these. A lot of people believe that was meant for fragmentation when actually it was more for hand grip. They weigh about, I think it's 1 pound 11 ounces, and I guess depending on how far you could throw, most I suppose at practice lots, the average is around 50 feet, and they would say that there was the danger zone of about 100 yards. So yeah, so it was more of a defensive, defensive grenade. Now on these, both of them, just faintly though, it's been worn off, but you can see there were 3 red X's on one side and 3 on the other, and that had to do with the type of explosive filling. So they had what was like a baritol or trottle, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, trottle filling. And so that was the red X's, and then there's a green stripe that again is fairly faint, but it's there on both of them. And that had to do with the fact that they were designated waterproofed. I don't know if this Canadian one has it so much. I thought that I used to see it there, but not quite so much. So, beginning with the Canadian grenade, this one's a FW marked or stamped, and that's for Frost and Woods. I'm not sure what city or where they were made, but everything on it. I think the inside there might also be Frosted Woods or FW, but kind of hard to see. There is a date mark, but clearly number 36 Mark 1. And this other one here, the British one, was yeah, so there's the T, A, and S, and so this one's 1942, the other was 1943, and this is it stands for T, Ashhead and Sons, and that's also right there. I'll just flip it around, but you can see the TANS, and then that was from information I gathered at Dudley, Worcestershire. Sorry for butchering that, but yeah, there's various markings that I haven't really been able to identify. This ZWD seems to be a question mark for the experts that I've tried to look up information on this. And so yeah, there's the 2 hand grenades in my collection, and of course this incredible book. This is an original from 1942. So this one dealing with a grenade. So it was a training manual, and it outlines all of the. This is the one thing I'm concerned about. So here, not to be published. The information given in this document is not to be communicated either directly or indirectly. I hope I'm not going to get in trouble, but anyways, there's maybe some kind of statute of limitations since I could buy this on eBay. But anyways, the pamphlet is pretty incredible with procedures laid out for the methods for throwing and aiming and all that. And so I can say that I was surprised to have the situation where I was doing the first time I was going to throw a grenade like this here, that we weren't given a practice grenade. We all lined up, and the sergeant or officer, I can't remember at the time, picked up a rock and said, that we basically, this is where the pin would be, and so you would hold it to your chest. You'd pull your pull your right hand down with the grenade in it, with the pin held in your left hand. You wouldn't move the left hand from your chest, and you'd look down at your grenade and look at your target, and then lob it over the wall. And so we had to line up to go throw grenades, and so that was all the training we had. We went into the cement shelter with senior NCO, and there was a hand came out of a wall. You handed the NCO the grenade, and you kept one for yourself, and you threw the grenade. And that was my first time trying. Everybody fighting for the back of the line, and then after you threw a couple, you were fighting for the front of the line. So quite the experience, but glad to have been able to do it. These were just a couple of pieces I picked up, which I believe we were instructed not to do. And again, I hope I don't get in trouble over that, but a couple of hunks of metal for souvenir. I didn't think that was too serious. And there's just something I picked up for a little display, part of the whole theme in the room here. The grenade pouch or Bren gun magazine pouch. Got a few of those. And this here, now that's the tool that you would use. There is another one that I had printed off a picture on the internet, but this style here would fit those holes to loosen or tighten the base, and then of course that center hole was used with the disc when you were going to use a rifle to launch these things. So you thread that into there. And this other one here, the British would use a different tool, since it's got these more squared ports. So I'm just going to open this up. I was able to get for both of these a replica piece that just for demonstration, the cap and fuse, and so both grenades have that in it, so it's kind of a neat thing. The markings on the inside, there's a Z in there, which there it is. It designates that centerpiece as being made of zinc, because I believe there was brass and steel or other types, and the year is marked there, 42. So I don't know, I just keep them under, I probably shouldn't keep under the spring tension, but yeah, if I pull this pin, that hammer is going to, or the spoon will fly off, and the centerpiece will if I were to hold it like so, it'd come flying right out of there because it's meant to come down and strike the top of this, which ignites the fuse, and 4 seconds later, kaboom. So I hope that I've given some good information for you on these. Any questions, you just go ahead and post them below. Thanks again. Bye for now.